Hello, everybody. I hope you are well and everything is going well there. Another day, and I will start a new topic today. But before that, let's start with reviewing yesterday's topics. Then also we will have a Socrative quiz, and hopefully, if nothing goes wrong, we will start arrays topic. This arrays topic will open a new window in the coding. It has new features. Don't worry, it's not very complicated. Just it is a different kind of data type, and hopefully we will understand. So let's start with reviewing previous lesson. Yesterday's lesson was important because we have learned variables scope. A created variable, how can we reach it, from which methods we can use it in, and what's the scope of a variable. I've learned that. There were class level variables and the local variables. Class level variables means when you create a variable inside of the class, but outside of any method, it will be a class level variable, not class variable. It's very important. When we create class level variable, we can make it static, or if you don't write static, it will be non-static variable. Static variables will be class variables. Class variable. There is no level there. The other name is static variables. If you do not make it static, they will be instance variables. The other name is object variables. But instead of the names, I know what they are is more important. When you create a static variable, there will be only one variable. When you create object variable, non-static variables, each object created from this class will copy those variables, and you can change different values in those variables for each object. Let's say you have created a doctor class, and static variables will be about doctor's common features, and specific features that are changing, which are changing for each doctor, will be non-static variables. Name, surname, their phone numbers, things like that should be object variables. When you create an object variable, you should know that when you create an object, they will be copied from the class, and a real variable will be the object variable. Okay. Yes, when you create a class level variable, if you do not assign any value to it, like this one, it will get the default value of this data type. For string and object variables, object data type, the default value is null. Numbers default value will be 0. And Booleans default value is false. But when you create a local variable, you have to assign a value to it to use. Otherwise, you won't be able to use the local variable. Let's say you have created a local variable in the main method. You won't be able to reach it from other methods. Don't forget that. Local variable means the Alijan is known. It's in his own village. Other villages won't know Alijan. I hope you can remember it from that example. How do we create objects? It is not very hard. Objects are created from the classes, and just you need to write the class name and the object name. It can be, I think, Doctor 1, second doctor, first doctor, nurse, anything. New comment, new key, and the class name again. When you do it, you will create an object. Let's go back to this object. Oh, I have created a variable from the same class. It's possible we can create an object from the same class. When you create an object, don't forget it will copy all the non-static variables. In this object, the created object, we have there's variables right now, and you can set a specific values for each object. Object 1's name can be Hassan, as you can see here. Object 2's name can be Ayşe or anything else. I think we have covered a lot of things in this short time, and let's start with the quiz. Let me check. Where is it? It should be somewhere here. I found it. Yes, Socrates student. Okay, we will use student login. Room name is like this, if I remember right. Oh yes, we are in. The name, my name will be Smith. Okay, we are ready. As you can see, this is a loop question, and it's a for I loop. And it's a what will be the output of this program. Okay, I will try to explain everything in detail. It will be a good review of previous for I loops. And you know, loops are very important topics. If you can understand loops, you will be able to solve a lot of different questions. So, initializing value is 1. At first, I will be 1. The condition is I should be smaller than 6. Condition 1 is smaller than 6. And each time we will increase the value. After completing the loop, we should increase the value. Okay. Always it will check the condition before executing the loop. In the loop, it will write the value of I, and then it will put a minus symbol there. This will be the output. Okay. At first, I is 1. The condition is true, so it will execute the code. It will print value of I, which is 1. Then it will put a minus there. As you can see, in the print code, there is no ln. It means all of them will be printed in the same line. We can put a cross over this one, because they are not in the same line. In the next loop, value of I will be increased by 1. It will be 2. Then the condition will be checked. 2 is smaller than 6. It is. Then it will print the value. The value of I, which is 2 right now, and another minus. Next one, we will increase the value by 1, 3. The condition 3 is smaller than 6, true. Let's print it. 3, the value of I, minus. 4, I am not going to explain anymore. It is also true. It will print 4, minus. 5 is smaller than 6, true. It will print 5 and minus 6. 6 is not smaller than 6. It is false. So the code won't print 6. It will be like this, starting from 1 until 5. This seems all right, but still let's check other. It won't print 6, and it won't start from 5. So the right answer is A. This application program's output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With a minus after each of them. So I hope you got what I mean. Let's continue to the next one. You say it is correct. Perfect. Okay, which of following options will give the same result? There might be more than one right answer here. And let's start checking. For I loop, it will start from 1, and each time it will increase the value by 2. And as long as it is smaller than 100, it will print it. Okay, it will add 2, 3, 5, 7, 95. And there won't be line side by side. Instead, all of them are ln. Okay, it will go to the each element will be in different line, but it's okay. 97 and 99. This will be the first one's output. What about this one? Again, it will start from 1, and as long as it is smaller or equal to 99, it will print it. And each time again, we will add 2 to the I value. It is same thing, exactly same thing, because the only difference is this limits. Smaller than 100 means the last value is 99. But here it says it can be smaller or equal to 99. Again, the last value will be 99. These are same. When I come here, what is the difference here? Are they same? I cannot see any difference between them. For integer 1, smaller than 100. Oh, here, of course, I did not notice it. This is the professional way of writing. This is the simple way of writing, but both of them are same. What about this one? Okay, this one will start from 1. Oh, here, I plus 2. It means nothing. It won't work. There should be an equality symbol or something like that, or there shouldn't be 2 here. This won't work. So A, B, C options are right answers. The output of these programs will be same. They are very small, and I couldn't be able to see them. Here we have another application, and this one we will try to print the value of total. What is the output of this program? Okay, this time we have one right answer. Total will start from 0. Total will be 0. Okay. I will start from 1. The condition is I should be smaller than 6, which is right for now. Through 1 is smaller than 6. And each time at the end of the loop, we will increase the value by 1. Okay. In the code, we are adding I value to total value. Total is 1, total is 0, I is 1. When I make the calculation, value of total will be 1. And loop has ended. And each time I need to increase the value of I by 1. 2, condition is 2 is smaller than 6. Through, we will add another one. We will add I value to total. I is 2, total is 1, total will be 3. I will be 3. Condition, I is smaller than 6, it is still true. Added 6, 4. 4 is smaller than 6, true. Loop will continue. 10, 5. 5 is smaller than 6, true. 15, 6, 6 is not smaller than 6. It is false. Loop will stop here. As you can see, I did not add 6 to total. The last value of the total is 15. If the condition was true, I would add it, but because condition is false, I did not execute the code for the last one. And when I did not execute the code, I did not add the I value to total. The last value will be 15. The right answer is here we have it. Okay, the next one is coming. We have a sum, okay, sum of some numbers. We have a for I loop, and this time we will decrease the value of I by 5 after each loop. What will be the output of this program? Okay, let's start. Initialize sum is 0 at first. I will start from 10 this time. And the condition, as long as I is higher than 0. 10 is higher than 0. It is true. And after each loop, we will increase the value of I by 5. Let's execute this code. It says sum will be increased by value of I. Sum is 0, value of I is 10 here. The total value will be 10. And I will decrease the value of 10 by 5, which will be 5. 5 is still small, higher than 10, it is true. Let's execute the code one more time. We will increase the value of sum by amount of I. Sum is 10, amount of I is 5, and I will make it 15. Loop has ended here. And after the loop, I need to decrease the value of I by 5. It will be 0, as you can see. And condition will be checked at the starting of the loop after increment or decrement. 0 is not higher than 0. It will be false, so I will stop here. Stop. When we see false, we will stop. And we are trying to print the value of sum. Here it is. It will be 15. C is the right answer. Okay, the next one is coming. Okay, we have another loop. And we are trying to print multiply. Oh, this time we are multiplying the results. Okay. Value of multiply will be 1 at first. I will start from 5. And as long as I is higher than 0, the loop will continue until the mornings. Condition is 5 is higher than 0. It is true. Okay, we can execute the body. It says multiply I with 5. When I multiply them, the result will be 5. And each time we will decrease the value of I by 1. It will be 4. Let's check the condition. If it is true, we will execute the body one more time. 4 is still higher than 0. Oh, in the condition, there is equality symbol too. Okay. It is true. When I multiply the values in the loop, it will be 20. I value will be decreased by 1. It will be 3. 3 is still small, higher or equal to 0. It is true. Let's do it again. 60. When I multiply these numbers, the value will be 2. 2 is still higher or equal to 0. It is true. Let's do it again. 60 times 2, it will be 120, and value of I will be 1. 1 is still smaller or equal to 0. It is again true. When I multiplied them, the result will not change, but value of I will be 0 here. 0 is still equals to 0. It is again, it will be still true. I need to multiply them one more time. And when I multiply 120 with 0, the results multiplies, value will be 0. I will be -1. And when I check -1 smaller or equal to 0, this will be false. Stop. The things will stop here. The value of sum, as you can see, is 0 here. It is not 120 or anything else. It is 0. When I see this equal symbol, because of the steps, I got it that I thought that the result will be 0, but I want to you to see it. Okay. Next question is coming on the way. Bring it on. Oh, we have a for loop here, and we have a condition. Which of following options have same output with the program? Oh, it's a hard one. We are going to check out of codes. Okay. I will start from 1. The condition, as long as value is smaller than 10, a loop will continue, and each time I will increase the value of I by 1. Okay, we have an if statement. If I modulus 2 equals to 0, I 1. Oh, again, there's a bug here. Sorry there. I modulus 3 equals to 0. This is the condition. If it is true, we will print it. We have two conditions here. Okay, one, this is true. So this condition will be checked, but this is not true, false. It won't print anything. When I becomes 2, this condition is true. This one, it is false. 2 cannot be divided by 3. We won't print anything. 3, true. 3 can be divided by 3. So this code will be printed. In the same line, because there is no element here, we will print value of I and the space. I is 3, and there will be space. 4, true, false. 5, true, false. I mean, you can see the system will continue checking until the 9, and it will print 6 and 9. Because starting from 1, it will check all the numbers until including 9, and each time condition will be true, but we should check if they can be divided by 3. These numbers can be divided by 3. I can see that. Again, in those options, we will try to find same output. When I come here, value of I is 1. It will start from I, and the last value will be 10, same. But here, each time I will increase the value of I by 3. Here it was 1, but here we are increasing the value of I by 3. And I will check the condition. First, let me write the value of I, values of I. At first, it will be 1. In the second loop, it will be 4 because I have added 3 to it. In the next one, it will be 7, and there won't be any other one because when I add 3 to it, it will be 10. The condition will be false. And none of them can be divided by 3. It will print nothing. There will be nothing on the console. Let's check this one. I will start from 3. The last value will be 9 because of the equality symbol. And each time I will increase the value of I by 3. And here, if the value of I can be divided by 3, we will print it. Let me write the values here. The first value will be 3, and each time I'm increasing the value by 3, 6, and 9. And all of them can be divided by 3. The system will print all the numbers. and it will be same because the value of I and the space will be here, and there is no ln. They will print it like this. So it is same. Okay, this time everything starts from 1. And as long as it is smaller than 11, the loop will continue. The last value of I will be 10. And will increase the value of I by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 will be checked. And only 3, 6, and 9 can be divided by 3, the condition I mean. They will be printed in the same line with a space. 3, 6, and 9. We have another right answer here. Perfect. The last one is coming. Okay, what's happening here? The I values, first value will be 1, and the limit will be 9. But each time, this time we are decreasing the value of I by 1. Oh, interesting. So it will start from 1, and it will go deeper. It will always get away from the condition. It will be infinitely continue. This is an infinite loop. And it won't reach the 9, so it won't print anything, and there will be a lot of numbers here. And this does not have the same output. So we have 2 right options. Okay, I want to check something. Now let's continue. Yes, it's correct. The next question. Oh, the letter is different. Don't worry about it. It is same thing. You can create any letter. You can use Z2. It is also acceptable. Oh, we have a loop. There's a question mark here. It says which one should be used to print 0, 3, 6, and 9. The first value is 0. And as long as it is smaller than 10, the loop will continue. Okay, the increment. And each time we will print the value of G, and we will put a space. If I use this one, it will be increased 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it will print all of them. This is not the right one I'm looking for. It will start from 0, and if I use -3 after each loop, it will be, first one will be 0, the second one will be -3, -6, -9, -12, infinitely it will continue. No, always this condition will be true, and it will infinitely continue. If I use this one, in the first loop, it will be 0, and it will print 0. The next one, it will be -1, -2, -3, because always we are decreasing the value of I. We have only one right answer. What happens in this one? Each time we will increase the value of the variable by 3, and it was 0, it will be 3. It will print it with a space. Also 6 will be printed. And the last, as long as value of J is smaller than 10, it will be printed 9 and the space. When I add 3 to 9, it will be 12. The condition will be false, so it won't be printed. It is the exact output we need here. So A is the right answer. Okay, question 8. We have another for I loop. The variable will start from 10 as long as it is higher than 0. We will continue, and each time we will increase the value of letter by 1. And we will try to print hello. What's happening here? The first value will be I. I'm sorry, first value will be 10. It will print hello, right? The condition is correct. 10 is smaller than 0. It will print hello. In the second one, we will increase the value of I. It will be 11. 11 is still higher than 0. It will write another hello. 12. 12 is still higher than 0. Hello. 13. 13 is higher than 0. Hello. As you can see, the number value of number is always increasing. It means it will be always true, and there will be infinite number of hello on the console. There is no limit. If there is no limit, we will use it infinitely. I value is value of the letter is getting far away from the 0. It is the value of the letter is always increasing. It means the condition always will be true, and it will print hello infinitely. We are very close to the ending. 9 of 10. This time we have a char, okay, and we will print the value of I. Okay, and we will put a space. Let me delete everything. And each time I will decrease the value of I by 1. When char characters see math symbols, they act like numbers, you know. So whatever number has this letter, it will be decreased by 1. What will we see here? And each time we will decrease the value of A, the letter, and as long as it is higher than A, it will be printed. Let's start. The first value, F, whatever number it has, condition will be checked. Condition, F value is still higher than A. If you remember chair table, value of F was higher than A, so it will be printed with a space, F and a space. The second one, the value will be decreased by 1. Oh, it will be, I see. It will be A, I think. But here, we have decreased it by 1. And after a loop has ended, I need to decrease it one more time. You see, it will be D now. If this wasn't here, we would decrease it only once, but because of this code, here we decreased it by 1, and in the loop code, definition, it says decrease the value by 1, and we need to decrease it again here. Then condition will be checked. It is still higher than that. It will print letter. After printing it, we will decrease the value. It will be C. Now let me use different color here. C. And from the definition, we will decrease the value by one more time. It will be B. Then we will check the condition. B is still higher than A. If the condition is right, we will print it, B. And here we will decrease the value, A. And one more time when I decrease it, it will be something else. I don't know what it is. We need to check ASCII table, but it won't be smaller than A, higher than A. So loop will stop here. It will be false. And we will see those letters, FDB. This is the right answer, the one we are looking for. The critical point here, I should understand that in the loop definition, it says after each loop, decrease the value by 1. But in the loop, there's a code to decrease value by 1. There's also another code to decrease the value by 1. So we need to decrease it twice. That's all. If you could be able to understand this trick, it's okay. Okay, the last one. Hopefully, it is ending. We have for while loop here. We have two printings, and it says what will be the output. This one has no ln, so all of them will be printed in the same line. And after the loop, we will go to the next line because this one has ln in it. Let's see. I will start from 1, and as long as it is smaller than 5 or equal to, we will print it. Oh, we have another for loop here. Oh, I see. We have two for loops. I didn't see at first. Okay, this will be minus I, and as long as it's higher than 1, we will continue and we will decrease its value. So let's start from the outer for loop. I will be 1. And the condition will be checked. The condition 1 is smaller than or equal to 5. It is true. So loop will be continued. I is 1 right now. We will enter in the second loop. Here we are. It will start from 5 minus I. 5 minus 1 is 4. The first value will be 4. And the condition, as long as value of it is higher than 1, loop will continue, and each time we will decrease the value. Okay, here we have, and we can start printing the value. The value of I plus 4, it will be 5. Then there's nothing, there's no space. We have printed the 5, but the inner loop will continue. After finishing the inner loop, we need to decrease the value of letter by 1. It will be 3. And again, I need to check the condition. 3 is higher than 1. It is true. We will print the I plus the other letter. It will be 3 plus 1, 4. The next one. Two. And when I decrease the value of j, it will be 2. 2 is still higher than 1, and we will check the condition. We will print I plus j. It will be 1 plus 2. It will be 3. And value of I will be 1. 1 is not higher than 1, so this will be false. Inner loop has ended. Then we will go to the next line. Here we are right now. And this is very important. You should be able to see that the outer loop's first loop has ended. Now we will increase the value. And it will be, I value will be 2. I hope you got here. The inner loop has ended. We will we switch to the next line. And when we come here, we are still in the outer loop. Outer loop hasn't ended because the condition is still true. Then I increase the value of I by 1. It will be 2. And 2 is smaller or equal to 5. It is true. Loop will continue. New inner loop will be executed. This time, the starting value will be 5 minus 2. It is 5 minus 2. It is 3. The condition, as long as it is higher than 1, a loop will continue. Okay, now we have 3 and 2. We will print the sum of those numbers. It will print 5. Then we will decrease the value of j to 2. Still 2 is higher than 1. the body will be executed. We will print some of those numbers. 2 plus 2. I and J. 4. Yes, the inner loop has ended here. We will come at starting point. 1. 1 is not higher than 1. Loop will stop. And we have come here. Inner loop has ended. It will print nothing, but it will switch to the next line. We are here now. And again, outer loop will go to the starting point to check the condition. Now I will increase the value of I. It will be 3. 3 is still smaller or equal to 5. Okay, and this when the I becomes 3, the inner loop will be executed one more time. G, the condition. Okay, initializing first value will be 5 minus I. 5 minus 3 will be 2, and the condition is 2. As long as 2 is higher than 1, loop will continue. And I should print the sum of 3 and 2. It will be 5. And then I will decrease the value. It will be 1. 1 is not higher than 0. The loop will be false. In the next line, loop will continue, but the second loop's condition will be false, so it won't be executed. Let's see that too. After printing 5, system will print to the switch to the next line. We are here, and we will go to the starting point of the outer loop. This time I will increase the value of I one more time. It will be 4. And 4 is still smaller or equal to 5. It will open another loop, and J and the condition will be here. Starting number will be 5 minus 4, 1. The condition is 1 is not higher than 1, so it will be false, so it won't print anything. The inner loop won't be executed anymore because the condition will be always false. So we will see 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 5. The first option here. Okay, that's it. That's all. I hope I could be able to explain what's going on here. Let's see. We have full point, 100 point. Okay. Let's have our break time, and then we will continue. We will start a new topic. Let me execute the counter. Okay. It didn't like it. Well, let's say after 15 minutes, we will continue. Okay, welcome back. Before opening my microphone, I talked for a few seconds. Yes, we are planning to start a new topic today, and the name is arrays. Let me explain you. And we cannot arrange everything with the data types we have learned so far. Let's say you have a lot of phones and you want to save all of them somewhere. You need some kind of list. An array is like that. Array has a lot of spaces in it, and you can store your elements here. For example, let's say you want to save the names Ali, Vedi, Hassan, Michael, John. You can create an array for that kind of purposes. It's of course not the names. For example, you are creating an application for the market, and you want to store vegetables or fruits. You can create an array to store them. Or employers, workers, staff, personnel, everything can be stored in an array. We are not going to use arrays a lot of time because we have an advanced version of arrays list. Most of the time in this kind of situations, we prefer using lists. But for now, let's cover everything with the arrays. Then we will talk about the list. Yes, until now we could only assign one value to one variable. Arrays will change everything. Here, as you can see, if you want to store a number, you should use a number, star, char, boolean, things like that. However, we cannot handle everything in an application with this kind of variables. Instead, we need something to store all the variables in a list, something like a list. So, for example, if you have multiple elements, and if you need to create a list of students in a class, you need a place to save them. And if you are trying to maintain sold products in application, you need a list, something like that. In this kind of situations, you will use lists arrays. Yes, in array, we can store same data type. It's very important. If you are planning to store numbers in it, you should create it that way. When you are creating an empty array, you should say that I am planning to store integer numbers in it. You need to set a data type. You cannot store different data types. You cannot store string and number data types in an array. All of them should be same. If you are planning to store chars, you should set arrays that way. Arrays can store only one data type in Java. And don't forget that arrays is a kind of object. Non-primitive data types. We have learned string is a non-primitive data type because of the first letter, as you can see, it's capital. And arrays, this data type is also very similar. Not as the function, both of them are non-primitive data types. And in this data type, we can store more than one element. Variables, whatever you say. So, we have created an array, let's say, there's numbers in it. And if you want to reach any value in it, just like string variables, array data type uses index structure. If you want to reach the first element, you just need to say, hey, array, bring me the element at index 0. Please bring me the, oh yes, the second one was nicer, kinder. If you want to reach the second element, you should say, please bring me the number at the index 1. It starts from 0. Just like if you remember in the string data types, it's very same. You just need to say the number and it will bring it to you. Like this. When you are planning an array, two things should be decided before creating the array. It has a few disadvantages, and I will try to talk about that. First, when you are planning to create a list, data type should be set. As I told you, if you are planning to store numbers, you should write it like this. Integer, first thing will be the data type. This, when you put this the symbols, square brackets, it means you are planning to create an array. And the name of the array, anything can be possible. Products of market or anything is possible here. Naming is, as you know, as long as you follow the rules, everything is possible. Critical point here, we need to set the data type, and we should use square brackets to say this is an array. If you want to create an array, you should create it like this. The second one is the length. You should set the length when you are planning to create it. If you set 5, for example, array will have 5 empty places for integer numbers. We have created it for integers, and when we create it like this, here we are telling computer, hey, this array will have 5 places to store numbers. Don't forget that after creating the array, you cannot change the length. You can change the numbers in it, but you cannot add another box. It is impossible. And you can change the numbers, of course. This can be 11 or 111 or 30, 330. It's all possible, as long as it is in the limit of integer data type you set for the data type. As long as it is in the limits, it's possible, but you cannot change the length. When you create it, it will have always 5 places for the weapon list. Of course, you will say, hey, I have created this list for the market, and they wanted to add another product in the list. What will we do? It's the question that should be asked, but we will talk about it later. Shortly, when we are planning to create an array, we should remember 2 things. First, we should decide the data type. Second, we should decide the length of the array. They are very important. Yes, data type cannot be changed, and we cannot store different data types in an array. This part is not important for now. Don't worry about it. We will talk about it when time comes. Yes, the length of array is fixed and cannot be changed. It's very important. Data type and the length. Those are the 2 things you should be careful when you are creating an array. Creating an array is very easy. Data type, square brackets, and the name. But you know, you may create it this way, or you can enter the symbols after the name. I strongly advise you to use square brackets after the data type, but you can also create it like this. It's totally up to you. As long as there's a square bracket somewhere, it will work. Both ways is okay. But when you create it like this, IntelliJ will say something with yellow symbol. There will be it will be printed with the yellow color. something is wrong, it will say, but it will work, don't worry. But usually we prefer writing it like this. Both of them, the first one is not wrong, but the second one is more correct. Yes. When you create it, when you create an array like this, integer, array, I'm sorry, integer array, the name equals to new array, a new int 5. For example, oh, I don't know what I've written here. It should be new. Let's say we have created an array. It will create array like this. It will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 boxes for the integer values, but we haven't assigned anything to them. Yes, the default values of the data type will be assigned automatically. For the integer, default value will be 0, as you know. Everywhere will be full of 0 numbers. Of course, we can assign numbers to them, but before that, everything will be 0. If you want to create array directly with the values, you can set it like this. Integer, square brackets, name equals to, between curly brackets, you can write the values with a comma between them. If you create it like this, it will be easier for you. Otherwise, you need to reassign the values to each boxes, but creating it like this is better. Actually, we did not set a length here, but when we create it like this, we also saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This array will have 5 elements, no more, no less. It will be always 5 elements. And when we try to print it, it will be printed like this, with square brackets and the values. Yes, when we create it like this, without assigning any value to the boxes, each box will have default values of the data type. If it was a string data type, all of them would be null, as you know. How do we find the length of an array? Okay, let's start coding. We haven't coded anything today. Hopefully, you will understand array is not hard, just we need to know a few things about them. Where is the new package? I'm having a hard time trying to find it. Day 18 arrays. Pardon. First class will be arrays. Okay. Oh, CO1. Oh no, where's my package? Didn't I create it? Okay, let me create one more time. New package, day 18. Arrays. Here it is. I don't know what happened there. New package, CO1 arrays. Okay, we are ready right now. And let's start with the main method. Now let's create an array. It's very easy. Just we need to write the data type, square brackets, and the name. If you are planning to create only one array, you can use this name. Equals to. I prefer creating it with the data. comma 4, 3, 8, 10. We have the values. Let's print it. So, printing it is a little different. So let's print it later. Okay, let's try to change a value of it. If we want to print a value of array, we need to use index structure. So I want to print this one. Index 0, 1, 2, 3. I need to print the array's third index. So array, the name, and between square brackets, I need to write the index number. So we will be able to print it. Okay, we will be able to print it. Come on, computer. Okay, we could be able to reach it. How can we change a value? How can we change a value? It's very easy. To reach the third one, we use this, and if you want to change it, it is very easy. By using index structure, of course. Array third element from now on, it will be 40. And after that, I can, of course, print it. Here it was 3 or 8. Now it will be 40. Let's print it. So array 3. It was 8. Now it is 40. It's very easy to change or reassign any value to arrays. Like this, you can assign them. How can we see how many elements has how many elements array has? How can we check or see how many elements array has? Again, it's very easy. Just you need to write the array's name dot length. We have it, as you can see. When I run it, it will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 will be there, waiting for us. Here it is. So we have the length. If somebody asks you to print the last element, how can you do that? How can we print the last element of the array? It's not very hard. When we have the length and when we know that it uses the index, dynamically I can reach the last element's index number. If it has 5 elements, because index is starting from the 0, last element's index number will be length minus 1. And I will write it length minus 1 in square brackets, and dynamically I will be able to reach the last element of the array. So now let me check something. Okay, so array. Between square brackets, there should be a number, and dynamically I want to find the last element's index number from the length. Array dot length minus 1. And it will print me the last element of the array. Let's see. It is 10. We should be able to see the 10 here. Okay. Everything is going fine so far. How can we print all the elements? Arrays is like this. And how can I print all the elements? You cannot directly print it. Let me show you. print all the elements of the array. We cannot directly print the values. We cannot directly print an array. Let's see. Salt array. I'm trying to print the array. We will see something we cannot understand. After the 10, it is here. There's a way to print it, don't worry. But we do not need to know that way because we have everything we need to print the values of array here. How can we print it? Actually, we know the index structures. We know arrays use index structure, and we know how to print an element. So, we can use for loop, right? If you use for a loop, we need to reach the first one, then the second one, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. By using the lang, I can create a method for that. First, I'm not going to create a method. Then let's create a method for I loop. I should start from 0, right? Because the first number that I'm trying to reach is 0, index 0. And I will be continue as long as it is lower than the length. So array.length. And each time I will increase the value by 1. And when I is 0, I will print salt array I. If it is 0, it will print the first one. And when it is increased to 1, it will print the second element. Let's put a space between them. And I do not want to print them line by line. Instead, they should be side by side. This should work. Okay, here they are. Elements. Exactly same. If you want to put a comma between them, you can put the comma here. And space is better, I think. But you can do whatever, whichever you want. So we could be able to write them. Let's write an explaining for the arrays here. When we create array, we actually set the length. We cannot change the length after creation. It's very important. When you create it, you set the length. After that, you cannot change the array. If you try to use an index which is not used in the array, it will cause out of boundary exception. Let's see that. I will try to print array index 10. This array does not have 10 elements, so it will malfunction. We will see out of bound exception or something like that. Oh, yes, array index out of bound exception. I just created, I couldn't be able to remember exactly how it was, so I created the problem. It's not very important. When you try to reach it, when you see this error, I think you could be able to understand it, but still it's better to know. One more thing, let's try to understand something. when it is like this. As you can see, Java did not write red line or did not use red color for the name. It means this is not a compile time error. This is not a compile time error. Usually people ask, students ask me what compile time error is. If there's a red line when you wrote something wrong, there will be a red line or the code will be read like this. It is compile time error. Without, you can see the error without running it, it will be a compile time error. If you see the error after running, it will be runtime error. That's very logical, right? If you run it and if the error appears there, it is a runtime error. If you can see a red line in the coding, it will be compile time error. If we see an error without running the code, it is compile time error. If we see the error after typo 9, after running the class, it will be a runtime error. From the name, it's very clear, I think. Okay, here it's not, Java is not complaining about an error. It is saying something, yet it can feel it, but still it is not sure, I think, because it does not stop now. There's no red line. So blah, blah, blah. Here, this is also something, but still they does not stop the code. They will be executed. But given an information about what's happening there, how can you solve this problem? If you want to reach the arrays values, you need to write something, it says, but don't worry. And we'll learn how to create them. Okay. Now let's go back to the slide and see how to find the line. It's very easy. Just you need to write array line. It is not very important at the moment, but still I want to show you something. When you write array.length, this is not a method. If it was a method, there will be brackets after it. This is just a number, and the system arrays calculating that the Java creators created a method, and somehow this does not give you, this is not a method because there's no parentheses or brackets after the length. It's a unimportant note, you can forget it. But you should know that if there's no brackets after the code, it means it's not a method. If there is brackets like this, it means it's a method. That's all we should remember from here. Yes, it's a how to reach desired element. It's very easy. Just you need to write the number, index number of inside of the square brackets, and you can change the index value by using it like this. It was 8, it became 10. If you print an index out of the bound, I mean 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it has 4, it has 5 index here starting from 0 to 4. If you write a number which is not there, you will see array index out of bound exception. It's not a compile time error. It happens when you run the code, so it is runtime error. How to print all the elements? Yes, we learned how to print them all, but let's redo it because we may need it in the real life. I will create another class here, CO2 arrays, my favorite color topic for today. I will create main method, and then let's create another array. How do we create the array? Let's try to remember. First, we need to write data type. This time, let's create a string array. Second, don't forget the square brackets. Then the name array. Very simple, but it works. And we can directly write the values between curly brackets. I will write them. Michael, John, and one more I want to add. I'm having a hard time here. Okay, we have it. What is the length of this array? Length sort array dot length. We have it. It is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will only count the elements, as you can see. It doesn't matter how many variable letters they have. They will be counted as one. Each one of them will be one element, and they will be stored in the boxes of this array. I think it's better when I do it like this. Yes, it seems better. Okay, length will be 5. So how can I print all the values of this element? We are going to use for a loop. How can I do that? Let's try to think about it a few seconds. Yes, index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4. I can use a for a loop, and by using the length, I can set the condition. Yes, let's do that. For print all the elements with a space between them. Okay, I will create my, where is the for I loop? Index will start from 0, okay. The limit is the length. As long as I is smaller than array length, dance will continue, loop will continue. And each time in the loop, I will print a web element and put a space. Then the second one will, in the second loop, second element will come after it. So I am planning to create a dynamic code here. Arrays, I element will be printed. Then the space. I want to print them side by side. So let's delete this ln, and it should work. Let's run it. Ali, Willie, Michael, John, Madan, they are here. We are a good team. Okay, after that, let's switch to the next line. If you print it like this, the system will continue. If you write anything else after that, the system will write it here. But to go to the next line, you should write this code to switch to the next line. Okay, we know we cannot print it as an array, so we need to do something else. We know that we cannot print it as an array. But is there another way to print it as an array? But there is another way to print it. Yes, when we are talking about the arrays, actually developers created an arrays class. This is the class. And when I press dot after it, I have a lot of, when I say a lot, really a lot, of methods at my servers. I can use any of them. Oh, really? There are a lot of methods. Oh, and so my method, the one I'm looking for, should be, oh, it's not alphabetical, sorry. Arrays class has a method to print an array to string. Yes, I know you are surprised here when you see the string method. And here I will need to write the name of the method, name of the array. When you do it like this, you can see the array without using a for I loop. Coming here, we have the array. Actually, I think you can remember from the slide when I told you that it will be printed like this between square brackets. Let me write that part too. To print an array directly, we need to ask help from arrays class. The string method. It's a method because it has normal brackets. Okay, we did it. We could be able to print an array here. Let's go back to the slide. Yes, to print all the elements of an array, we can use for I loop. And here it should start from 1, and the limit will be the length. And we can print all the elements like this. But there is another way. We cannot print it directly. So we should ask arrays class help. When we try to print it directly, the system will give us nonsense. Actually, this is the reference of the array. If you want to print it, let me check something. I will sorry. Okay, to print array, we ask help from arrays class, and it helps us to print it like this. Is there a problem with my connection? No, I think everything's all right. But there's a message here. The recording is preparing for the alive section, but it's already alive. I'm not sure what's happening, so everything seems fine. I will continue. Okay. Oh, we have the questions. My favorite place. It's always funnier to solve questions. When I am solving questions, I'm having fun, and I hope it's same for you. Okay, let's start from the question 1. Create a method that increments all the elements, increases all the elements of the given array by 2 and returns to the ones. Save the old array, it's this new. It's very hard to understand. We will create a method, okay, and it will increase all the elements by 2, and we will resave it in the same element, I think. Yes, this is the task. Now let me copy the question from the slide. And we will try solving the questions. The all 3 questions. And the question is this. Increases by 2 and return it to us. So here, this method will not return the will not print the array. Instead, it will return it. This is the key point. We will create a method it will reach the variables of the array. Then it will increase them by 2, and it will save new values to old array. What are the steps? First, we will try to reach each element of an array. Then we will increase them by 2. We will increase them by 2. Then we will reassign the new value to array. We will reassign a new value to it. Okay, find that folder. Let's start by main method. Of course, for everything we need a main method. Let's create the array. It will be integer array because we are talking about the numbers, and the name will be array. It will have a few numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now let's use different numbers. This will be 7. This will be 9. We have an array. To reach each element, I need to create a loop. For a loop, I will use index structure. It will start from 0, and the limit is the length. Array length. Okay, we have done it. So let's try to reach the elements. It's very easy. Array, I will write I. This will bring me the value. First one will be 2. I'm going to increase it by 2, right? Increase it by 2. And I want to reassign this new value to same place. From now on, array index. Come on, array index I will be equal to this. When you write this kind of assignment, first the right side will be calculated, then the value will be assigned to the left side. So it was 2, it will be 4, and 4 will be assigned to the array itself. That's all. This is the code. And let's print it. So if you want to print the array directly, we need to ask help from arrays class. You can print it. Come on, I can do that. The string and the name of the array. But when we create it, let's print it too. So arrays without changing anything. I am printing the original values, and after that I will change everything, and I want to print it. Here it is. 4, 7, 6, 9, 10. 4, 4, 9, and all of the values are increased by 2. But the question is not that. This is the logic, okay? We solved it in the main method, but the question is asking us to create a method for it. How do we create the method? I will create a mission. The codes will be like this. But in the mission, I will work on an array, right? So I should send the array. I will send the array to the mission. I will put data inside of it. And it will return me another data. Return new array. I mean, it can return the same array, but with different values. Let's create a method here. Method's name will be array the values. Increase the value of array by 2. Increase values of array by 2. We have the method. Inside of the brackets, we need to write something. The data variables you are planning to send to the method. I will write array. It's ready. This part is ready. And now let's create it. I will come over it and click on this create button. Okay. This is also ready. But this part, return a new, it is not mentioned here. So I should write the array I am planning to return. I am planning to return an integer array, so it should be like this, integer array. Okay, everything is right now. But let me show you something else. When you are creating the array, if you reassign it to array equals to, if you like write it like this and create it, it will also put the return type to automatically, because I am trying to assign whatever this method returns to an integer array. If that's the case, it means return type of this method should be created according to this array. It's an integer array, so it will write directly integer array here as a return type. But don't worry, you can do it like I did before. Okay, now we have an integer array, and let's work on. I will create same thing for I loop. The limit is I will start from 0, and the limit is descended arrays length, array dot length. And each time I will try to reach an element of array by using I, and I will add 2. Then I will reassign it to same place. Array I. Okay, it's not complaining anymore. After changing all the values, I will return what I have created. Return array. So here, what will happen here? It will reach all the elements of the array. It will add to each of them. Then it will reassign this new value to old one. This will change the old array. Then it will return it. It will return it, and it will reassign it to the array here. Let's cancel all this part. And let me print the value of array. So after the method called, arrays, to print it, we will ask help to string array. Okay, we did it. There's no problem. I increased the values by 2. Okay, thank you very much. Let's have 10 minutes break time. Then we will continue solving the questions. Okay, everybody, welcome back. If you are still there, we will continue. Let me clean everything. Clean table, fresh start. Okay, let's try to solve another question. I think we did it. We nailed it. Let's start the second or another question. Let's see which one we can solve. Write a method that adds positive integers in a given array and returns the result to us. Okay, this time in the previous method, we set to and we did not dynamically created the improvement amount. This time in the second code, we will create a method and it will take the array from us. Then the amount of the increase will be also taken from us. Then it will increase all the values by that amount. Let me copy the question and we can solve it in the code. I will start another class CO4. Questions. You have to solve those questions, don't forget. If you don't solve them, you cannot learn them. Okay, write a method that adds positive integers in a given array or to a given array and returns the result to us. We are not going to print any values, so we cannot use void return type in the method. Instead, the method will return us the array itself. In the return, when we are writing the return, we should write the array. Okay, let's start with creating an array. Integer, array. Oh, what's the problem? Integer, I couldn't write integer. The values will be random numbers, and I will just add the numbers. Let's add the big number 2. Okay, we have a lot of different numbers right now. This is a good array. And I will create a method just after that. First, let's write the method call. Let's try to understand what kind of method we are planning to create. I will use different colors. It's very hard to see it. My favorite color is this. On black, it seems very nice. Yes, we are going to send the array, right? We will send the array. Then we need to send the amount that we are planning to increase the values. If you are planning to increase the value by 3, you will send 3 increment. If you are planning to increase each value by 4, you should send 4. This time, we need 2 different gates. The first one will be for the array, like this. The second one will be the for the amount of increment. Okay. And at the end, it will return the array, right? It's very important. We have the method. Let's create it. Increase values by the amount. Okay, this is the method. This is the name. And now I need to enter the things I will need in the method. First, the array. Second, I need to create an integer. Or I can write directly, but I prefer creating an integer. Integer, increment, increase. It will be 4, 5. I am saying 4, but I wrote 5. I will dynamically send it, increase. Okay. I have created my method. The thing is, I will reassign it to the array, right? I'm planning to return an array, and I will reassign it to same array. Array will be equal to this. This method will return an array, and it will be reassigned to array itself. Let's create it. It is red, as you can see. So when I click on it, it will create the method. It has prepared the gates for integer array. The name will be array, and for the increment, the name will be increased. You can change the names. This is the return time. It will return an integer array. This is here, the one I am trying to return. Okay, let's create the for I loop. In the loop, we will reach to each element, then we will increase the values by the amount, then we will reassign it to array itself, then we will return it. For I loop, we'll start from 0, and dynamically it will continue until it reaches the last element, and okay. And each time, first I will reach the elements, I will increase them by the amount, the name will increase, blah, blah, and I will reassign it to itself. Array. All right. Okay, we did it. Then after the loop, I'm planning to return the array. Return, please, the array. That's all. It took a few minutes. If you know what you're doing, if you can plan everything, if you can create the logic, the rest will be very easy. But we do not know if it is working. Let's print the array, original array, sort arrays to string array. And after changing the array, let's print it one more time. I will copy it and print it here. We are planning to increase all the values by 5. Let's see. 3, 8, 5, 10, 55, it became 60. It is going this way, but it's not important. We can see it's working. If I want to increase them by 20, it worked for 5, it will work for 22, but as you can see, it's working. Okay, we did create it. What about the next one? If you have any question, please, without any hesitation, you can ask it. So the next question, let's check the next one. Oh, interview question. Let me clean everywhere. Create a method that will blah, blah. This is a hard one. You can solve it yourself. What about the question 4? Create a method that prints whatever a desired element exists, whether a desired element exists in a given array. If so, how many times it has been used? Oh, interesting. That's a good one. Let's try to solve this one. Now I will copy question 4. Questions. Let's create another one, CO5 questions. We need the main method, then the question. Okay, let me create an array. It will have a lot of different elements. I will create an integer array. We can create a string array too, but for this kind of questions, creating an integer array is faster. Okay, I couldn't stop myself. We have a long array. Now the question is, we will create a method, but this time it will print. If we are planning to print something, return type should be void, because we are not going to return anything. The return type will be void, nothing. Whether a desired element exists in a given array. For example, if you check the 3, how many times? Oh, there's only one. Oh, here we have 2 3s. It's very easy actually. Let me explain the logic. We will check each element, each number. Then, if it is 3, we will increase a number. There will be a counter, and we will increase it. At the end, if the counter is higher than 0, we will write yes, it has the number 2 times. I'm talking about the 3. It has 2 3. but we are planning to use a method. So we are going to create another machine. We will send the array, that's for sure, because we are going to work on array, and we will also send the desired element, desired number. It won't return anything. Instead, it will print it. It will give us a document. Because of that, return type will be void. So I know that I can directly create the method right now. When we are creating the method, defining a name is the hardest part. Is there desired element? Is there desired element? This is the name of the method. What we are going to send it, the array, and the desired number. Let's create it. We do not need to create it, but I prefer creating it. Number. Oh, it will be 3 for now. You can change it, of course. And desired number will be here. Everything is ready. We are not planning to return anything. If it does not return anything, we cannot assign it to something because it won't return anything. There won't be anything. Let's create it. Directly return type is void. The first gate is for integer array, and the second number is for desired number. For I loop. Again, it will start from 0 and it will continue until the length. And there will be an if statement. If I will reach the elements, array, the element at the index I, if it is equals to 3, I will do something. That's for sure. If it is equals to 3, I will increase a number. Let's create that integer counter. It will count the numbers. It will start from 0, of course. If it is, the number at the index I is 0, we will increase the counter. That's all we need to do. Let's print the result. We can create a better condition. If counter equals to 0, it means array does not have that element. So the array does not have the element. We can make this part dynamic too. Plus desired number. For example, array does not have 3. Dynamic, it will take the number from here. If the counter is not 0, it means the array has it, right? How can we write? The salt, there are here the counter will be okay. Number of numbers is the number. It will print the number here. There are 3 desired elements. How can I write it? It will be very interesting. Okay, let's leave it like this. 3 times. Okay, it is better. Times. So let's run it. The result should be 2. I could be able to see 2 numbers here. So the result should be 2 here. The counter will be increased twice. So the result of counter will be 2. Oh, of course, I made this mistake. This should be written outside of the loop. It's very important. Otherwise, this system will try to execute them again and again. And we have learned it. This I have created integer in the loop, so system cannot reach it outside of the loop. So we should create it outside of the loop. If you do it like this, everything will be fine. And let's rerun it. Yes, as you can see, counter is true. If I try to use a number which is not there, zero, the array does not have the zero, I will change it to 0. Oh, what? Oh, I'm sorry, here. You know, I put 3 here. Instead, it should take it from the desired number dynamically. We are looking for that number. For a second, I thought, what's happening there? Here, the array does not have 0. If I use 1, 2, 3, I have entered all the numbers, I think. Okay. It doesn't have any 0, but other numbers are used. We did it. We printed the result. Let's go back to the questions. Here, create a method that takes the size and elements of the array from the user and creates the array and returns it to us. That's a good question. Actually, we are learning how to use methods. This is the most important thing here, because we are going to create a lot of methods in real life. We should learn it well. CO6 questions. Main method, the question. Okay, now we will again create a method. And in the method, we will take the size, the length of the array, and the elements from user. Then system, that method will create the array and it will return us. Do we need to send anything to the method? No, we do not need to send anything, because everything will be taken from the user scanner. It will take the size, and according to the size, it will take the numbers. If size is 3, it will take 3 numbers. And it will put them to the array. Then at the end, it will return us the array, the created array inside of the method. That's all we need to do. It is not very hard. Don't worry. We will handle it. So let's start creating. Here, we do not need to do anything. I will just create the array, create the method, and inside of the method, everything will be handled. Okay. Take create array. This is the name of the method. And we are not going to send anything to it. But I will, I'm expecting to receive an array from the method, right? So I will assign it to the array. Integer array, user array will be equal to this one. This method will create an array and it will be saved here. Let's create it. Oh. Oh, let's change it to elbow. Create user array. Yes, this time is better. Somehow it makes things I think the name is used by the Java developers. This is better. This time we have the create method. When I click on it, it will create it like this. I will make it public so I can reach it from everywhere. So we have the method. It has, we didn't send anything to it. Inside of it, it will take the size and the numbers. This means we need to use scanner, right? And new system. I cannot type today. I don't know why. Okay, we have it. First, we will ask the size. So please enter the size of the array you are planning to create. Integer size will be taken from user here. We have the size. Let's say user entered 5 here. We will have 5 numbers, and I want to set as I want to get the elements of array from the user, each one of them, and I will put them inside of the array. Again, I will use the index structure. I will reach each element. I will get a number from user, and I will put it to there. For I loop, it will start from 0. It will continue until the size, the user entered number by the user, and let's create the array. When I get the size, I need to create the array, right? According to the size. It will be an integer array, and the size will be new integer size. It will create the array like this. All the elements will be empty. Default numbers will be assigned to them, but let's say they are empty. So I will take a number here from user, and I will assign them to the each element, each boxes. Okay. So please enter a number to add array. And number will be taken here. We can dynamically put it to the array. Array I will be equal to scan.nextInt. In the first loop, it will add the first number user enters. In the second loop, it will again ask it, and we will put the second box, and in this, it will continue like this. We are planning to return the array. After the loop, let's return the array. Return array. Okay, this function will work, and we will have the array here. And after that, let's print it. So arrays to string user array. Okay, first it will ask the number of the size 5. Please add the number to array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it did not ask another number. It added them to the array, and it printed them here. Now let's do it one more time. This time I will use 7 for the size, and then I will add random numbers. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I did enter another one, but it's not important. It is not registered to the array. All the numbers are here. Start from 7 and until 2. All the numbers are here, as you can see. Okay, next question is, let's see. We have always solved a number of questions. Let's try to solve a string question. We do not have any question here, so I will take it from the, I will create another question. CO7 questions. Okay, the question is coming. Let me check something. There should be another question here. Oh, here. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. I will copy the question 6. I remember that there was a question there, but I couldn't see it at first. Okay. We will create a method. Again, there will be another method. And this time, this method will print the longest and shortest words in a given string. It is not very hard, don't worry, but it is a little hard to create the logic. First, let's create the array, then we can talk about it. This time I will create a string array after creating the main method. String array, the name will be array. You can put any name here. And between curly brackets, I will write the names. Hassan, Ali, Muhammad. And name is possible. Michael, John. We can continue writing, but it's not necessary for now. If I ask you which one is the shortest one, you will say so, of course. How did you do that? How did you find it? You compared them, right? Yes, in the computer will do the same thing. The first one has 5 characters. Let's say we are looking for the shortest one. When I compare it with the second one, Ali has 3 letters. So this time the shortest one is Ali when I compare them. When I compare Ali with the Sue, this has 2 letters. This one became the new shortest element. When I continue comparing it with the others, always Sue will be the shortest one. What about the longest one? I will do the same thing. Starting from the 0, I will compare it with the others one by one. It has 5 letters. This is the longest one for now. When I compare it with this one has 3. Now it is still the longest one. I will compare it with this Sue. Now it is still the Hassan. When I compare it with the Muhammad, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one has 8 letters. This one will become the longest one. And now after that, I will compare it with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is not the longest one, so we do not need to change it. When I check it with this one, still Mohammed and Michael are the longest one, but we are going to print one of them. You can create a code to print both of them, but for now, we will stick to printing one of them. So it says create a method. Okay, let's create a method. In the method, we will send the array inside of it. Okay. The name of the method will be find and shortest and longest. And I will send the array. It says the method will print it. It won't return anything. So directly we can create it like this. Create the method. We have the method right now. I will start from index 0 for both of them. When I am searching for shortest or longest, I will start from the first one. So let's create. Let's set a number for that. Okay, which one will be the shortest one? String shortest name will be the first one, right? I'm saying that first we will set the first one. Array index 0. I should start comparing from somewhere, so I prefer using the first one. String longest name. Begin, it will be array 0. At first, when I did not compare them with the others, the longest and shortest are same name. Always we will start from Hasan. And now I need to create a for I loop to reach each one of them and compare them. For I, array size, length, and there should be I need to compare them. If the length of the array, first one, for example, I will compare Hasan with Ali. If the length of Ali is bigger than Hasan, I will change the longest name. Let's start. I will check the Hasan. If the length of the second one is shorter than Hasan, the new shortest one will be Ali, right? It's all about the length. If the one comes from the array I length is higher than shortest name's length, length, it means we have shorter name right now. I will change this shortest name. From now on, shortest name will be equal to arrays that element. Here, for example, it will Hasan is the shortest name here. When I compare it with the Ali, when I compare the Ali's length with the Hasan's length, Ali's length is shorter. Oh, it should be like this. So new shortest element will be Ali. It will be same for the longest one too. If array I length is longer than longest name, the new longest name will be that. Longest name will be equal to array that element. Okay, that's all. And then here I forgot to line. And then I just need to print shortest name plus shortest name, so longest name, longest name. That's right. Oh, we did forget something here. Oh, we should print them outside of the loop, of course. Otherwise, in the loop, if you write them in the loop, they will be printed in each loop. You can see they are changing each time, but don't worry about that. This time everything should work perfectly fine. Shortest name Su and the longest name Muhammad. As you can see, it is working. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much, and hopefully we will continue tomorrow. Good night.